Yo, Busta, good question. So we have a plugin that's supposedly industry standard, and it's 200 bucks originally, $0 right now. And we could be getting all the plugins in the world, just like how a lot of us be getting random Steam games in our library, and we don't ever play them, even though they're $1 each or some shit like that. So it's like, is there a real utility here? And first off, I'll just say yes, definitely. And before you understand what this plugin's about, before I start yapping a little bit about it, go ahead and download it right now. Because if you're a mixer, if you're a person that likes to do audio work, you're going to want to spend time looking at your levels, meaning like the volume of your tracks, and how the volumes of your tracks compare to other parts of your song, and you want to be able to measure how dynamic your song is, or like how much the volume changes, how big of the range your volumes are throughout the song are. And one way to do that is by guessing, is by using your ear and just listening a bunch of times and tiring your ear out. Another way to do that is to combine that as well as using metering, is what is what is called metering, to measure the volume, what they call the LUFs, the LUFs, which is like a perceived loudness measurement as opposed to actual loudness. It's like scaled for human hearing. So the measurement that a lot of, if not all, audio producers use in order to determine whether their song is loud enough or if it's too loud to be posting on any platform like YouTube or TikTok or Netflix or blah 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 blah. Like, all these streaming platforms have different LUF requirements, or like LUF recommendations. And for example, TikTok or like Instagram are -14 LUFs. An integrated -14 LUFs. But that's like a lot of technical jargon, right? So hopefully by now you've already downloaded it. Let's get into the software itself so I can show you a bit. So generally, before you send every track off to the ether, you want to be able to track your LUFs, your loudness. And I'll just go ahead and start doing some shit right now. You can see that it's -24 LUFs. It's still pretty quiet, so that means there's a lot of headroom, meaning there's a lot of opportunity for me to kind of close that gap between where I'm at and the ceiling. So right here is -15 LUFs, so that, the song got a little bit louder, meaning that the short-term LUFs also increased. Now the song stopped playing, so that's not there anymore. So this is Insight 2. It measures your integrated LUFs. It also measures your true peak, which in general you want to have at -1 decibels. You want it to be at -1 decibels, or else it'll clip. And if you know what clipping is, it's when you freaking blast the freaking mabob all the way up. Wait, what am I doing? All the way up. And then it starts making distorted noises, Hear that? So right here, sounds awful, right? I mean, Anouk, who we're using as an example today, sounds beautiful. But my drums freaking brought up the entire master tracks, LUFs, all the way up +10, and then +6 decibels. So that's one instance, that's one reason why you would want a metering app. You could use a free app such as Ulian Loudness Meter, which essentially does the same thing. It's specifically designed for measuring loudness. But the point is that Insight does a lot of things. It does more than loudness, as you can see. It does it does like stereo sound field excuse me, Something that's really cool too about this app that I haven't figured out yet is, there's this other thing called relay. So wait one second. Relay. And you can connect it to each one of your tracks. I'm not too sure exactly how to route every relay track, but what it does is you're able to monitor each individual track within Insight, which is in your masters. It's really cool. I don't understand how to do it yet, but I'm guessing, if you have a bunch of tracks, like you're in a choir or some shit, and you have all sorts of vocals, voices coming from the left to the right fields, you put a freaking relay on each track, you'll be able to see that on the sound field right here from, with each of the 5 vocals or whatever. And what I like to use, excuse me, I'm still recovering from being sick, and I'm not really talking too much, so bear with me here. I'm sorry. So I like to use, for my overheads, I like to use Insight in my overhead bus, so I can just see if my stereo field is in phase or not. So if you're familiar with phase is essentially when you have a sound wave like this, right? And there's another sound wave, or there's another recording of that source. Let me restart this. Okay, so you have 2 microphones, right? I have my left drum mic, I have my right drum mic, and they're both recording my drum set right here. But what can happen is the range of each of the microphones can kind of cross over each other. And what that does is, this microphone has a wave like this, and then this microphone has a wave like this, but in the center, of the radius or whatever you call that, if I'm not using my microphones correctly, the ranges of each microphone are gonna get in each other's way, essentially, meaning that they're out of phase, meaning that the overall signal that comes through is gonna be a little bit weaker than it should be. So what the sound field does is, it lets me look at not only if my overheads are balanced or not. I like to use it for peak measurement, just to make sure that I'm not getting too loud in one ear over the other, because that's just really uncomfortable to listen to, that's really jarring. So yeah, as long as it's between 0 and +1, pretty sure that means that it's good. And then if it's from 0 to -1, then that means that it's more out of phase. So yeah, that's really cool. Really, that's all I know about this software. I'm still learning a lot. Oh wait, whoa, okay. Oh, nice. So this is how you get the relay. Oh, okay, I have to look more into this later. If you guys are interested in an actual, demonstration especially, I'll have to do some studying, because I'm still learning too, Excuse me. And then you got the spectrum as well. You're able to see the EQ. You're able to see... Oh my god, I'm dying over here. Oh my god, dude. Oh shit, I'm still clipping too. Hold on. Wait, whoa. Okay. So, yeah, you can see if your highs are more dominant, if your lows are really dominant. And also, from what I can tell, looking at a couple of modern mixes, a lot of the modern mixes are definitely lower than the very highs. So, not only can you look at the spectrum as a reference for how you would generally want your EQ or your spectrum to look like once you ship it, once you get the -14 LUFS and -1 true peak. Also, you can just, you can't just click it. Maybe you click here, refresh. Okay, yeah, then you refresh that, because that true peak is from when I blasted everything, so it wasn't really getting everything. I can talk about this forever. So hopefully you downloaded this shit. You know, hopefully you're not waiting for the very end of me describing why this is important for you to get this shit, because it's obviously really important, you know. And at the same time, you are able to load in references. I've never done it, so maybe I shouldn't even try right now. But you can put in reference tracks to have Insight analyze that track, such as, you know, with the spectrum, and then you can compare that with your own track. So yeah, that's a little gist of the beauty that comes with having a $200 plugin for free in the holiday season, especially if you are a mixer. If you work in audio, you got to be grabbing this shit, dude. There's really no reason for you to think about it, because I'm telling you right now, just grab it. And then the longer you're on it in this journey, the more you realize how clutch of a fucking holiday deal this was. So I hope this helps. This was an 11-minute video. I wasn't expecting that. So if you're still here, peace, dude. Thanks for asking, and best of luck on your audio engineering journey. See you soon, maybe.